Alright, Halos, welcome back. How's it going today with everyone? We are back for another patch notes. I know it's a little bit delayed, but had to move and some other stuff I was dealing with. But we're back for a little bit, gonna get some recordings in, and today we're starting off with patch 25.07 notes here. This was the April Fool's patch, kind of, but also just a patch, you know. The Pingu Garen, there's a bunch of events that were happening. I don't know if they're still going on as of today. It's the 6th that I'm recording this on. But anyways, it was pretty fun, pretty cool stuff overall, and it was nice. It was nicely reminiscent of like the old days when they had a bunch of April Fool stuff that they did, and it's pretty cool. But anyways, so we had some mid-patch updates for Enough Fury. Looks like she is getting her numbers hit a little bit more, so down on the Q damage and down on the E damage as well, and the cooldown's going up on the E damage. Yorick also getting, looks like, buffed actually. Oh, basic attack damage to monsters is getting nerfed a little bit though, but the Mistwalker attack damage is getting buffed late game especially. And then the Q looks like the healing is actually more healing for depending on your missing HP. Alright, but anyways, either way, this is the patch highlights here, and we have some April Fool skins and stuff. The Pingu Garen was pretty cool. I don't know if that's, I feel like it's going away, unfortunately, but maybe we can buy it. I don't think we will be able to though, sadly. Oh, it looks like these are actually, we can't buy them anymore though, so that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Either way. Alright, let's jump into, so yeah, we have the April Fool's 2025. Feel free to read through this. I'm probably just going to skip through it for now, as the stuff has already gone, unfortunately. But it was pretty fun stuff, and it was kind of interesting. I think I got most of the stuff, maybe not all of it though, that you could grab, which is interesting. Alright. Anyways, LeBlanc's visual update, I believe, is this patch as well. She also went in like TFT and stuff like that as well. So yeah, pretty cool, kind of interesting. The Black Rose and all that stuff, the arcane, basically, visual update here. Yeah, the prestigious skin getting a price increase, amongst other things, going live on April 3rd. So yeah, that should be live. Demon's Hand, looks like they are maybe changing the, so we did take a look based on some feedback at the acquisition rate of some of the rare sigils, excuse me, that are acquired by playing League, and discovered that there was an unintended interaction with the hidden missions that are granting those sigils. In 25.07, you should notice a significantly easier time to acquire them. Good, thank goodness. This was actually kind of annoying. This fix will result in you earning increased progress toward those hidden missions by about 80% per minute of gameplay. Nice. That's pretty good, actually. Okay, cool. Because, yeah, that was getting to be kind of a grind, and there's only limited time left, obviously, before the game mode's going to be gone, so that's good. Anyways, fixed an unintended behavior with the hidden missions that grant sigils that should now result in you running them much faster. Cool. Systems. So we have Home Guard and Fountain here. So the Fountain healing, maximum HP per second is getting nerfed. Maximum mana is also getting nerfed as well. Interesting. Per second. Why would they slow that down? We'd rather adjust the recall incentives than nerf the blue boots themselves. Oh, they're nerfing symbiotic souls and repeatedly recalling to fill up their health and mana before rushing back to lane. Oh, okay. So early game missing HP / MP per second is going to be up by 10%, and then late game missing HP / MP per second will be up by 4%. Interesting. What? So they're nerfing this, but somehow this is buffed. That's kind of... Mathematically, the changes below result in shorter trips to base when low on resources and slower trips when already near full. Oh, okay. So if you've been chunked down, it's good. Or better. But if you haven't been, then it's not as good. Okay, gotcha. So yeah, this is maximum, this is missing. Oh, that's what I was not seeing. Okay. Home guard speed is up next. That's pretty interesting. I think that's fine. Home guard speed, early game move speed is 65% instead of 75%. That's nerfed quite a bit. 14 to 40 minute move speed was 75 to 150% scaling, and then now it starts at 65, of course, and it goes to 150 still. Lane swap detection. Lane swap detection in mid lane has been shrunk to no longer overlap with most of the Raptor pit. Okay, interesting. Didn't even know that that happened. That's kind of weird that if your jungler was doing the raptors, or actually I guess it's not the junglers. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, champions are up next though. Brand is up first. We got his passive Blaze, damage cap per tick versus non-epic monsters. So just regular monsters. Looks like he's getting upped here actually. So 10, 20, and 30 based on a Blaze stacks. Alright, that's per tick of course, and then explosion damage cap to monsters was getting buffed as well. Yeah, just up pretty much 25 points early, or no, 20 points early and looks like 50 points late. But yeah, this is based on, I'm assuming this is probably like level 1, level 6, level 11, and level 16, but I'm not sure. Darius is getting some changes here as well. Let's see, what do we have? Base stats, his armor was 39, now it's 37, so he's a little bit less tanky, and obviously that's mostly aimed at jungle, I believe. Although I don't think that would really matter, honestly, with how much you heal in jungle. But anyways, apprehend cooldown looks like it's going from 24 to 14. Then now it's going to be 26 to 16, so up 2 seconds at every rank basically on the E. That's probably fair, honestly, but definitely sucks for Darius a bit there. So just nerfs all around for Darius. And then Gwen getting her Q, snip snip, final snip damage, down by 10 points early. Yeah, it looks like down by 10 points at every rank, flat. That's not really that big of a deal, honestly, but definitely when you're spamming it a lot, it can definitely add up for sure. W Hallowed Mist resists were 25 plus 5% AP, now it's 22 flat plus 70% or 7% AP. That's not that big of a deal either. Definitely a little bit less tanky, but scales more, so it will be actually more tanky later on by a lot. So that's probably actually a buff for her, honestly. All right. Ivern's up next. So Q root caller. Let's see, what do we have here? Looks like the root duration is going up very, very slightly. It was 1.2 and scaling to 2 seconds. Now it's 1.6 and scaling to 2 seconds based on rank. So just a little bit longer of a root in the early game. Not by much, but almost by, I guess, half a second. So that's not insignificant, I suppose. Alright, Lilia, E-Swirl Seed. Looks like the AP ratio is getting nerfed by 10%. So it was 60% AP on her E, now it's 50%. Not that big of a deal, but definitely nice to see a little bit of nerf on her for sure. Alright, Lulu is up next. Q Glitter Lance. So minimum damage is getting nerfed by 10 points flat at every rank. Maximum damage is getting nerfed by, looks like 15 points flat at every rank. Everything else is unchanged in terms of the damage. And then fixed a bug that would occasionally make the slow decay faster than intended. Slow is now applied immediately instead of after a variable duration. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's really nice, actually. Alright, Whimsy is also getting, it looks like nerfed, actually, by basically like 2 seconds, sort of. At rank 1, it's unchanged, but if you were to rank 5 this ability, then you wouldn't get that 2 seconds of cooldown less. So now it's just a flat 18 at all ranks, no matter how many points you put into it. So that's fine. That's not that big of a deal, honestly, and it is pretty strong of an ability, so makes sense. Now Fury is up next. So, yeah, I heard she's been terrorizing jungle right now, giving her an untarget ability, which is, yeah, crazy. Anyways, her base stats, health going down by 25 points flat, and then armor down by 2 points. That's fine. It's not that big of a deal, but definitely hurts her a bit. Passive, we are more damage to monsters was 165%, now it's 155%. 155, obviously. Q Darkened Daggers, damage to minions was 80%, now it's 100%, so she doesn't get any nerf damage to minions anymore on her Q. It's actually pretty nice for her. She can clear waves pretty quick with that. W Call of the Pack, cooldown was 20 to 18 seconds, now it's 22 to 18 seconds, so just a little bit nerf, especially early game on the cooldown there. Fixed a bug where W would sometimes not destroy tower shots while Neferi was untargetable. Okay. So I'm assuming that means that Neferi can avoid tower shots by being untargetable there. Interesting. That's completely broken, but alright. We'll see if they keep that around for very long. R Hound's Pursuit. Fixed a bug where Silas stole Neferi ult whereas Silas, who stole Neferi ult, would become untargetable during the cast. Oh, interesting. Alright. And then Olaf is up next. So we've got E Reckless Swing. Now scales cast time based on attack speed. Cool. Cast time was 0.25 seconds. Now it's 0.25 to 0.175. 0 to 125% bonus attack speed. Includes W. So yeah, it scales off of attack speed, the cast time, so it's just a little bit quicker. So yeah, pretty cool. Alright, Shako, or however you say this guy's name. Passive Backstab. So looks like the flat damage is unchanged based on level, and the 25% bonus AD scaling is now 30% bonus AD. Scaling, so just a little bit more damage on his scaling AD. Obviously it's just bonus, not just total, but yeah. And Q Deceive is also getting buffed by plus 5% on the bonus AD as well. So yeah, pretty nice buffs for him. Actually, AD Shako is just better, honestly. If you're building AP Shako, it's unless you're trying to do a specific thing, and a very, very specific thing, and you're just trying to annoy your enemies mostly. AP Shako is just worse in all cases, pretty much. But anyways, that's just my opinion, I guess. Anyways, Shin is up next. Q Twilight Assault. New attack speed and flat damage now apply against structures. Attack speed and flat damage now apply against structures. What? Percent max health damage is not applied. Attack speed and flat damage now apply. What? Okay, that's weird, but okay. I think that's a nerf. Letting his Q-based damage work against turrets should give him a bit of extra side lane pressure. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I think I understand. All right, interesting. Obviously, no. So this didn't exist before, so they're just clarifying that is not going to be applied to the turret, obviously. But this is now applying to the turret. So yeah, it's a buff for Shin, actually. It's pretty nice, pretty cool. Gets a lot of extra damage onto towers from his Q. All right, cool. Singed, he can split push even harder. Shin, rather. Anyways, Singed is up next. Passive Noxus Slipstream. Slipstream. Per target cooldown was 8 seconds, now it's 10, so a little bit less. A little bit of a nerf there. Q Poison Trail damage per second is getting buffed slightly. The flat damage unchanged, but the plus 42.5% AP instead of plus 40% AP. So just a slight bump on the AP scaling of his Q, which is a very strong ability. So yeah. Our Insanity Potion bonus stats were 30, 65, and 100 based on rank of his R. Now it's 25, 60, and 95. So just down by 5 points at every rank on the bonus stats, which is fine. Good for him for sure. Or to nerf him. Not good for Singed players, but yeah. Trundle's up next. We got the E Pillar of Ice. The slow is getting up to a little bit here. Looks like about, yeah, exactly 4% at every rank on the slow. Increased. And then cooldown getting down by 3 seconds at rank 1, and then scaling to just 1 second less at rank 5 of this, obviously. I'm fairly certain you go Q, W, and then E. But I don't know, maybe if you're support Trundle or something, maybe a QE could work. But yeah, alright, Trundle getting a little bit of a buff there. It's pretty nice for him. Volibear is up next. The W Frenzied Maul. Empowered damage amp was 50%. Now it's 50% plus 50% plus 15% bonus 80. So, okay, Volibear is cool, but building 80 on him is clearly worse than AP or tank. Trying to bring AD builds up to match the others in a way that rewards sustained combat, not exclusively bursting people. Okay, so yeah, they're just buffing AD Volibear a little bit, which is pretty nice for him. It is bonus AD, of course, and not total, so it's not just a straight up buff, but it is a straight up buff, honestly. Alright, cool. That's good for him. Xerath is up next. Q Arcanopulse, I think that's how you say that, I'm not sure. Damage, let's see, was 70 to 230 plus 85% AP. Now it is same flat damage, but the AP scaling is now 90% instead of 85, so it's a nice, decent sized buff actually to him. W, Eye of Destruction. The flat damage going down by 10 points at every rank, but 60% AP is now 65% bonus AP. Oh, that's weird. Okay. Okay, so they're trying to nerf support Xerath a little bit is what I'm getting. Okay. Yeah, this is pretty much just a buff at all cases, almost every case, but yeah, slightly less of a buff for support Xerath, I would say, I believe, depending on how you build him, I suppose. But I think most of the supports still build in full AP, so I feel like this is just a buff. But anyways, it definitely is a buff overall. But anyways, shocking orb. So you have to basically, if I'm not mistaken, for this to be a buff from what the nerf was, it would you'd have to have at least 200 AP for it to be even, and then if you had more than that, it would slightly be a buff on the damage. But yeah. Anyways, shocking orb, his E, is getting changed here, so the flat damage is down by 10 points at all ranks, and that's just it. That's fine. It is a pretty strong ability, honestly, so it doesn't really need that much damage. R, Rite of the Arcane, is getting nerfed by 10 points flat at every rank, and then plus 45% AP instead of 40% AP, so that's not bonus anymore, but still. Yeah, it's just a buff, pretty much, almost at all times, just about. Yone is up next, or Yone, or however you say him. Passive, Way of the Hunter, critical strike damage is no longer reduced by 10%, so he's just getting that completely removed. And then E, Soul Unbound, no longer cleanses crowd control, this is big, by the way. E, Soul Unbound no longer cleanses crowd control upon returning. So now if you get like hit by a Morgana Q while you're in your Soul Unbound, like apart from your body, then when you go back to your body, if you snap back or whatever, you will still be rooted for that full duration, stuff like that. Stuns and everything else as well. Tooltip clarifies that only damage from attacks and abilities is amplified. Okay, interesting. But yeah, all right, pretty nice changes for Yone for sure, overall. And then let's see, Yorick's up next. So armor growth was 5.2 and now it's 4.5. Oh, sorry if I was a little bit loud. I was leaning into my mic. Whoops. Was 5.2, now it's 4.5, so it's a little bit less armored tanky, physical damage tanky. And then passive Shepherd of Souls, nearby deaths per grave, was 12, 6, and 2 at levels 1, 7, and 13. Now it's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 at levels 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and 13. So yeah, it's like kind of nerfed. But they changed a bunch of stuff around on him. If you want to see like the details, sort of, go to like Freak's video is probably the best place to go. But yeah, anyways, attack damage was 4 to 90 based on level plus 20% per total AD. Now it's 15 to 75 based on level plus 20% bonus AD instead of total. So I believe that's a nerf, but I could be wrong. It's just kind of changing the stuff around a little bit, making him need to build AD instead of just having free damage on there. And then bonus attack speed 8% per level. Now it's Yorick's bonus attack speed. Interesting. Okay, excuse me. And then health was 110 to 212 based on level. Now it's plus 20% of max HP, excuse me. Now it's 100 to 300 based on level, which is just better. And then plus 15% of bonus HP, so that's a lot more of a nerf, which is really good because they were way too tanky, honestly. Mistwalker stats now update dynamically as Yorick levels up or gains stats instead of requiring new summons. Alright, cool. And then champion basic attack damage towards Mistwalkers used to instantly kill. Basic attack damage towards Mistwalkers. What? Champion basic attack damage towards Mistwalkers. Oh, it used to instantly kill. Now it's 100% increased damage from melee attacks. Okay. Alright, and then single target damage towards Mistwalkers used to instantly kill. Now it's normal damage. And then AoE damage towards Mistwalkers was 50%. Now it is 66 to 40% based on levels 1 to 14. And then non-champion damage towards Mistwalkers, 50% from all monsters. Now it's 40% damage from minions and non-epic monsters. Alright. And then Mistwalkers will no longer follow Yorick's recall while fighting jungle monsters. Yorick can now ping his passive to share the count of his Mistwalkers nearby and globally. And then, what else do we have? Sorry. Q Last Rites Cooldown is getting buffed basically. Was 7 to 4 seconds, now it's 6 to 4 seconds. 1 second shaved off at rank 1, which is nice, and so on. Damage, looks like the flat is unchanged on his Q, but the total AD ratio is actually 50% instead of 40%, which is pretty large actually. Yeah, it's just a overall buff on his Q by a lot. New summons a grave on champion and large epic monster hit with the Q, not just his auto attacks, but just with the Q. All right, that's pretty big. And then Morning Mist. Damage, it was, or is 15% current HP. Oh wait, no, it was, yeah, 50% current HP down to minimum threshold of 70 to 210 based on rank, plus 70% AP. Now it is flat damage of 70 to 210, so the same flat damage without the 50% of current HP, plus 100% of AP. So it scales better with HP by quite a bit. Movement speed for Yorick and summons was 20%, now it's 30%. And then now shreds 18 to 30% of armor for 4 seconds based on rank, scaling up. And then no longer increases Mistwalker damage by 20% for 8 attacks. Oh wow, I didn't know that it did that actually exactly, but that makes sense. Fixed a bug where Mistwalkers could fail to jump onto the target when crossing terrain. Interesting. And then our Maiden of the Mist is our last little change for the champions here, and Yorick, of course. What do we have? We've got 0, 10, and 40 on the damage, plus 50% of total AD. Now it is 50 to 100 flat damage, plus 30% of bonus AD. So yeah, definitely a lot less damage, I would say, I believe. Generally speaking, I would say. Maybe I'm wrong. And then health was 400 to 1650. Now it starts at 1050 and it scales to 3200. And it used to be based on, obviously this still is based on level, but it used to be plus 60% of total HP. Now it is plus 60% of bonus HP. So it gets a lot more. Yeah, basically this is a nerf, I believe, which is good. Kind of, it just depends pretty much, but yeah, overall. All right, and then items are up next. So Catalyst of Eons build path is getting changed a little bit. Easier build path pretty much. And then I believe, yeah, it looks easier. Total gold cost is unchanged. The mana is getting upped by 75 though, so now it's 375 mana instead of 300. Eternity mana restored from damage taken was 7%, now it's 10%. Rod of Ages will also receive the same change there. So yeah, all right, mana restored from damage taken is upped, and then Rod of Ages obviously is the same thing. Whoa, Rod of Ages, what? Is that a mistype? And they just copy pasted, because why would they say Rod of Ages when it's Rod of Ages? But anyways, oh, interesting, you can click on these items. Huh. Alright, anyways, yeah, Rod of Ages is the same thing, pretty much, for the Eternity mana restored from damage taken. And then Umbral Glaive is the last item change here, so we've got total gold cost was 2600, now it's 2500. It gets 5 more attack damage, and Blackout cooldown is 90 seconds instead of 50. So a nerf on the passive quite a bit, but overall just a better item, pretty much, I would say, roughly. At least in terms of stats. And then got ARAM changes. If you guys want to pause and read that stuff, or go to the link in the description and read it, feel free. What else do we have? Swift play, quick play, normal draft queue update. So 15.7 is the patch. We say goodbye to quick play and embrace swift play where everywhere it's not live yet. We want an unranked standard Summoner's Rift option to be available, so we're enabling normal draft at the same time. We're going to make a small change to normal draft timing on OC, as well as that, so that it's available when the most players are on. Okay, interesting. All right, so yeah, swift play and quick play are getting updated pretty much. Well, it used to be, I think it used to be quick play. Well, I guess it changes. Oh, okay, yeah, they're turning things on and turning other things off. Okay, so yeah, quick play is pretty much gone, and then swift play is going to be replacing it, pretty much. And then normal draft, similar thing, kind of, but depending on the region, sort of. Arena, general changes. Combo breaker now works on knockups and knockbacks. Okay, anyways, these are arena changes. Definitely check that stuff out if you haven't already. Looks like there's a new guest of honor, Ambessa, Katarina. Oh, there's a few of them actually. Katarina, Draven, and Cassiopeia and Alistar. That's pretty good. Alistar's a pretty good one, actually. I already did that one. Well, that's kind of cool. Cassio is actually interesting. All right, new guest of honor for round 8 changes. So we have the Blanc. I did try this one actually, and it's kind of annoying, but at the same time, it is kind of nice in some ways for sure. All revives are disabled. It's kind of interesting, yeah. And then guest of honor adjustments for Elise. It looks like. All right. And then obviously we have a bunch of changes for arena. Definitely pause to read or go to the link in the description for all that. We have a 2025 clash schedule here if you guys are interested. Oh man, I should have done the RRF Cup. That sucks. It's fine. I'm usually working on those days anyway though. Blue Essence Emporium has returned. So we've got the Blue Essence Emporium to be active until patch 25.09 goes live. Okay. With this return of the Blue Essence Emporium, we have a new offering for the Emporium Enjoyer title for 250,000 Blue Essence. Wow, that's crazy. So yeah, anyways, definitely get the Blue Essence Emporium stuff while you can. It's gonna be here for a couple of patches, so it's nice. Jhin and Vel'Koz Blue Essence pricing. Jhin will be available for 1, 2, 3, 4 Blue Essence, and Vel'Koz will be available for 16.18 Blue Essence. Alright, cool. So yeah, they're just changing a little bit of stuff because they lowered the Blue Essence cost of all champions by half earlier in the year. The Sanctum and Quantum Galaxy Slayer Zed, with the delay of All Mordekaiser, they're continuing to have Quantum Galaxy Slayer Zed now. And then Prestige Battle Academia Kiana, which they discovered a bug, wasn't properly granting her icon border. We weren't able to get this fixed in time for Elise, so for a moment, if you purchase her, she will come out without the icon border. We will be retroactively granting this for players at a later date when we have the issue fixed, but currently don't have an ETA on that. That's fine though. So don't worry if it's missing. We will get it to you. We'll let you know as soon as we have an update on this. That's fine. And then bug fixes and quality of life changes, of course. Definitely read through that if you haven't. And they could be pretty important. We have Urgot the Clog Father. Look at this, bro. And then we got Pool Party Malphite. Very, very strange, but I appreciate it being like sand at least instead of like skin. Sandstone makes sense, right? Pinker Garen, you could play as this for a little bit. I don't know if it's still live, but yeah, that was pretty fun. Grillmaster Braum. Oh, that looks kind of good actually, not gonna lie. Getting hungry. We have Glizzy Nafiri. This is cursed. Whoever made this skin is, oh my goodness. Anyways, Cat in the Box Shaco is another one. And that's it pretty much. We have like the end games here obviously, but yeah, other than that, thank you guys for watching. That's going to be it for us today on the patch notes. I appreciate it as always, and thanks for sticking around and waiting patiently for the release. I'll try to pump out a few more videos in the meantime. If we get a little bit of a pause between videos though, don't mind that. We're just I just got pretty busy, and I'm going to try to record whenever I can. Alright, see you guys later. Peace.